Hi Sagar, how are you?
Yeah, hi, good evening. I'm fine. How are you doing?
All good, all good. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this session. Very
My
excited,
pleasure.
very excited to
My
do
pleasure.
this. So, for all of the people who've just tuned in, quick introduction. Dr. Vaidya's has been hosting a bi-weekly series called In The Dugout with multiple cricketers, and we've been talking to them, of course, about their journeys. Check out the Dr. Vaidya's Maha Immunity Premier League as well on the Dr. Vaidya's Instagram page. You can predict and win every single day to win multiple prizes, products, hampers, and a lot more. And if you are lucky enough to get onto the leaderboard at the end, three lucky winners will get an iPhone, Bose headphones, and a smart television as well. So definitely check it out and do participate. Um, so Sagar, really, really excited to have you on this session. For everyone who doesn't know, Sagar is a cricketer. He has represented Puducherry in the Ranjhi Trophy as well, and he's had a very illustrious career so far. So we're excited to discuss with him more about his journey as well. So Sagar, do you want to quickly just introduce yourself for all our viewers?
Well, I'm Sagar Udeshi. I've played Ranji Trophy for Puducherry. I've played the one day tournament Vijay Hazare as well, and I've played Mushtaq Ali as well. And I've represented Chila Marians Cricket Club in Sri Lanka for their domestic season last year and year before last. And I've played first class for them as well and one days. And I'm a left arm spinner, and I bat as a lower order batsman. Just
Great. So, just to start off, obviously, cricket is a very popular sport in India, as you know, as everyone knows. And all of us, growing up, most kids, I think, would dream of becoming a cricketer and being able to play at a
correct.
professional level, myself included. So, I just want to understand a bit more from you. What was your journey through cricket? When did you start playing? How did you move through the levels? And of course, your schooling when you started playing, and then, of course, culminating also in Ranji Trophy.
Well, it's honestly a very, very, very long story. I would put it that way because I started playing cricket when I was just about 11 years old,
Wow.
and that time I didn't know what am I going to do. And being 11-year-old kid, you just want to go to the ground and just play cricket and just enjoy. Maybe getting up early was not that easy at that age, but then you have got a motivation that no, I want to play. That time wasn't as such that okay, I would be representing a state team or something like that. That time it wasn't that clear. So I started playing at the age of 12, and I joined. My dad and my uncle made me join National Cricket Club when we were kids, and then I played various sorts of tournaments called as Worli Sports Club. And they used to organize a tournament in Diwali for under 14, and then there used to be Elf Vensarkar Academy Elf Cup, which was very popular at that time. I'm talking about years ago. I don't even remember the year now. So that time it was, and my school, I was in Blossom Sundarbai Takasi High School, which is right next to Cross Medan. And it is actually, you can see the school from the ground, and from the classroom also, you can see the ground, National Cricket Club. And I was really lucky and fortunate, I would say, that my school supported me from the very beginning. And our school, I remember, used to start at 8:45, but the principal and the sports in charge, the PT teacher, they had given me a special permission saying that I can reach school after I finish practice about 9:15. So that's really been, and I don't think any other student from the school had any as such permission. So they have supported me right from the beginning. And then as I grew up, I started playing cricket. Say I started playing Kanga League when I was about 16 years old. But before that, I used to practice in Elf Vensarkar Cricket Academy, and then I got selected. And there used to be all the current Ranji Trophy players who used to come to practice, and since childhood, I've been bowling to them, and I'm really fortunate that I got uh, to do practice with them, and it was really a great experience since childhood. And then eventually, unfortunately, never got to represent Mumbai in any, what do you say, any age groups or maybe senior level or nothing. I've just played in Mumbai. I've just played club cricket, and I've just played Time Shield, which is a very prestigious tournament which is held in Mumbai, which is for the corporates. And in 2017, I still remember that um, there were chances of Pondicherry getting born, means a new state coming into the domestic picture. There were 10 new, about 8 or 10 states who were going to get. So I got a call saying that if I was interested in having a job in a company in Pondicherry. So I was like, because at the moment I was just playing club cricket and time shield in Mumbai. So I thought, let's just try. Why not just try? Because I wasn't achieving as much as I wanted to in Mumbai. So I just shifted my base from Mumbai to Pondicherry, and rest is all history. And I got to play Ranji Trophy. I got to, what do you say, express myself. That's it.
Great, very inspiring story, of course. And you're saying some comments coming in also saying a fighter on the field, and clearly that is evident through the story as well. It's difficult to become a cricketer in India. And like when you were speaking right now, one more thing that really stood out was the fact that okay, being born in Bombay, you get all these opportunities. There's so many anywhere, cross Maidan, Azad Maidan, Oval Maidan, wherever you go,
Correct.
there's everyone always playing cricket. There'll be like three pitches next to each other. You don't know where the ball is going, who's fielding for which
Correct.
team. So there's a lot of opportunity in that sense, but that also means there's so much more competition for
Yeah,
every place in the team. So it's both curse and a blessing playing cricket in Bombay.
absolutely.
Um, and of course, it's great that you've got the opportunity to play for Pondicherry as well. Um, you know, one part, of course, when you were speaking as well, and in my research, one very interesting thing was the fact that you played for the Chilaw Club in Sri Lanka.
Correct.
Um, and if I'm not mistaken, that was your first class debut as well. Um,
Yeah, correct.
I'd love to hear more about how that opportunity came about, what that experience was like playing at first class level outside of India.
See, basically, I'll just give you a brief about Chilav Marians. It is a club, basically, and that is considered to be first class. And there are about 20 different clubs in Sri Lanka, and two overseas professionals are allowed in a single team. So if the team invites you, you got to register yourself and start playing for the team. And if they invite you, that's a big thing. And in I made my Vijay Hazare, that is the one day tournament debut on 19th of September 2018. And because of some legal issues, that BCCI had said that we cannot participate anymore in that particular year, domestic season 2018-19, so that we had to serve a cooling period, which is a rule. So that time it was just no picture clear. We couldn't play any cricket, and so didn't have any clear ideas what next. So and then Damodaran sir from Pondicherry, so he suggested my name to the team in Sri Lanka, which is Chilav Marians. And then he told me to contact them. So Chilav Marians, I contacted them in, I think, end of November that time. So they asked for some of my bowling videos, and it took, well, it took them a week to go through all the videos and just confirm me whether they would want me as a professional or no. So I was too nervous about it, that, well, because being a first class debut, playing in Sri Lanka, a different
Of
land,
course.
a foreign country, and that to first class cricket. And I did a bit of research about Chilav Marians. There are about current international players playing for Chilav Marians, and eventually, first week of December, they gave me a call that I've got to take a flight in the next 2 days. So I was like, oh, that's too quick. But then I got there, and then I had a practice session the next day, and there was the game after 2 days. There was I made my debut against NCC. Still remember, and there were likes of Upul Taranga, Angelo Matthews. I remember vaguely. I think it was Angelo Matthews also playing in the opposite team. So it was a big game for me. I was really nervous. But then I had another professional from India who was playing in the same team, Raifi Gomez, and he's well experienced of first class. He's played IPL as well. So he was there with me. He was there to calm me down, and he told me that you'll have a little bit of anxiety and rest. He said, you've been playing cricket since so many years. Just consider it as it's just a normal game. Don't think about it that it's a first class game, and keep doing the basics and keep doing the things and just enjoy the game. And then I made my debut. I got Upul Taranga out on my debut, and that was a very big wicket for me because. And then I played uh, eight, eight first class games for them, what of days, and I got about 57 wickets in that particular season, and I was the second highest wicket taker in the entire country in Sri Lanka. But was
Amazing.
and the team was really very very welcoming, and then I never felt that okay that I am unwanted. Since day one they made me really comfortable and really helpful. Anyone just was a phone call away. That's it. It was really really good.
Yeah, it's great to hear that, and of course, the fact that you've taken 57 wickets meant that you had a great season uh, as well. And as Ajay Verma has said, he's saying that you might be the one who's taken the most number of fifers in club cricket. So we'll get to that and some more memorable performances later. But we have a question here asking, what is Fort Vijay Club for you?
Well, Fort Vijay Club is what you say. I have played for that club for more than 10 years, and I wouldn't say it is just a club for me. I am emotionally attached to it. Until date, I am attached to it. And it's just been like a baby since the time I've played for it. I used to manage stuff. I used to do every single thing except for making the wicket. Every single thing, say arranging the teams, say speaking to the coach, speaking to the captain, what needs to be done, and basically I was a player come manager, I would say. And the Fort Vijay is whatever cricket honestly I'm playing right now is all because of Fort Vijay. Because Fort Vijay was the club who had given me exposure in A division, and they'd given me so much of experience playing. And my coach, my captain, they had that belief in me, stating that I will. Well, I they were giving me as much as bowling I wanted, and I used to bowl about in a 70 over game. At least I used to bowl about 25 overs. So that's the main reason I can bowl the entire full day. Fort Vijay is more of an emotion for me. I'm very, very emotionally attached with that club.
Great to hear that. Um, so, you mentioned, obviously Pondicherry had been added later, more recently, to the domestic
Right.
season. Um, and it's different, right? Playing for a new sort of team that's still getting built. It's not like one of the other states or one of the other teams which have a lot of history along with it as well. So just two questions on that. One is, obviously playing Ranjhi Trophy is something everyone dreams of. So how was that experience playing your first match? And second bit
Well,
is, and sorry. Second part of the question is, how has it been playing for a new team? Of course, it's a different experience. Everyone is getting together. People sometimes when you play Ranji Trophy, say for Delhi or for any of the other clubs, the same players have played together throughout age groups. But playing for Pondicherry might have been a little different. So how has that experience been?
say Pondicherry, I would like to say that Cricket Association of Pondicherry, it seems to everyone that's a new association which has just been 2 years. But honestly speaking, the way they've developed the state, the way they're taking care of the infrastructure, the facilities, what they're providing to the players, it is unbelievable. We've got, as of now, last year we had three venues which had holded first class matches, that is Ranji Trophy games. At the moment, there are about six grounds, and two of the grounds have got floodlights with it. And I think a full-fledged 2020 game or a one-day game easily can be taken care, and that sorts of floodlights are available. And the work they've done with the infrastructure is unbelievable because they've got a vision and they want to become a state which is to be known by everyone in the country as a cricketing state. It's got culture of playing cricket, and I would like to say that the association guys who are taking care of the association, they're doing a tremendous job. They don't have experience, but they are doing unbelievable job. And well, playing for a new team, being a professional over the years and being played so many years of cricket, you've got to be, what do you say? You've got to adjust and adapt to any kind of situation that arises to you because we've traveled so much, played with new people. Maybe I would say that in a team there are just maybe there could be a professional allowed. So eventually you end up playing with 10 guys whom you've just met a couple of days back. And imagine playing Ranji Trophy with them, playing Vijay Hazare with them, playing Mushtaq Ali with them would be about 5 months long season. So you've got to make friends, you've got to make family, and they're just part of your entire lifestyle and your routine, what you follow. And I I would like to say that first year, Avishkar Salvi was the coach, and it didn't seem like that. It was just our debut. He made us so comfortable, and the way he managed the things, there was too much of pressure on us that being in a first class setup. But he's played for India. Avishkar Salvi, he's got the experience. He knows players would have anxiety and players would be nervous playing on the just one level below international cricket. So he made us really comfortable. He used to speak to us regarding saying that this is just normal cricket. You've been playing since so many years. Just try and express yourself and just do your best on every single day.
No, it's of course very important to have the right coach as well.
Yeah. And the second year, when I made my debut in Ranji Trophy, our coach was J.N. Kumar, and we had a professional playing for us, Vinay Kumar. He's a legend. He's a legendary bowler. He's got 500 plus first class wickets, and sharing a dressing room with Vinay Kumar was just like the experience is. I don't have words to express. And second professional was Paras Dogra. He's got a world record of highest number of double hundreds in first class, and he's a batting. He's a legend in batting. So, and we had likes of KB Arun Karthik, who's played more than 90 to 100 first class games, and he's got experience of playing in all different sorts of conditions. And we used to have a lot of chats before the start of the season. We had a lot of chats at how we need to go around the entire season. There could be times that there would be players who are down with just not cricket, or maybe they could be homesick, or they could be missing somebody back home. But then, as whenever you are something like that, they were just like easily approachable. You could anytime walk into Vinay Kumar's room, Paras Dogra's room, or KB Arun Karthik's room, the coach's room, Jack Arun Kumar's, J Arun Kumar, and was just tremendous. And they made us feel like we've been part of this setup since over the years.
Amazing. That's always great to hear. Um, one thing you mentioned, right? The routine. Your when you play Ranji Trophy, when you play Vijay Hazare, your 5 months, 6 months, the team is together, and that entire season, right? It's not like you're playing 10 games and then you're out for like a couple of months. It's a long season, so your diet, your exercise, everything becomes very important. But of course, as a professional athlete, even growing up, your what you ate, how you much you ate, the exercise you did, like you said, waking up early when you were young. What has that
Right.
journey been like?
So basically, honestly speaking, I've just started my training maybe a couple of years back because, and I used to never train that much seriously because when I used to play cricket initially, I used to play 5 days in a week, and maybe I used to play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday could be off, Saturday, Sunday you were always playing, and Monday is mandatory off because and then that time I wouldn't say I used to never I used to go to the gym when I was under 19. I'm talking about 2005. And then because of playing so much of cricket, I used to bowl about maybe 60, 70 overs in a week. So I used to not get time to train, and I used to play match to match. And I've lasted. But then eventually playing the first class setup, seeing that it is a long season, maybe you've got to play continuous cricket for 5 months, and with that also you've got to travel. So you've got to have a look what you eat, how your sleeping pattern. You've got to have a body clock which you have to follow it, and I would say you've got to follow it rigorously. And there are some people who've got a tendency of putting on weight, and some are like normally they don't have a tendency of putting on weight, so they can eat whatever they want. I'm a kind of a person who's got a tendency. I can easily put on weight if I start eating. So I had contacted a dietitian before the season, during the season, and I was given a particular diet which I tried to follow. And I had a couple of cheat days which I was not supposed to. But then you've got to really take care. There are so many what do you say, things which say, I would say sugar is the worst enemy you can ever get. So I would say, I would like to tell the viewers, the young people, to try and avoid sugar as much as you can. That's it. And say routine. When honestly speaking, for my fitness, I was about 100 kgs when I would say about a year back. And then I started working out really hard. Vinay Kumar was the guy who's motivated me. J. Arun Kumar was the guy who's motivated me. And within a span of 4.5, 5 months, I lost about 16 to 18 kgs of weight. My trainer of the team, Sanjeev Chaudhary, he's a what do you say, strength and conditioning coach. He used to make sure that he gives me a time slot, and I used to train alone with him. I was given special attention because I needed to train a lot, and I tried and followed the routine. There used to be days when it's not that I would say maybe once a fortnight I used to be feel lazy and not used to attend the workout, but eventually in the evening you feel guilty about it of not doing a workout on that particular day. And I think,
Sorry, I think I lost you
am
there
I
for a
audible?
second. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I think there are a few comments coming.
yeah. A lot of great comments. We have one question. How did you lose 16 kilos in 4 months?
Well, honestly speaking, you've got to have a look on what you're eating. My main uh, thing was I stopped sugar completely. And I used to avoid main dairy products, and sugar was is your main enemy if you want to lose weight, and that's quickly. And maybe you should have an early dinner, but you should have breakfast. Maybe it's always said that you need to have a breakfast like a king. So I used to take care, and I had a dietitian who was giving me a proper diet, and I used to try and follow it, and I used to train really, really hard about it, and more of running and the gym. And you can say that the trainer which we had in the team, he had he used to give me proper training which was required for my body, because all different people, they've got different requirements of training and diet. So I would say you need to have a trainer who can guide you throughout, and that's it.
Very inspiring. It takes a lot of discipline for a long
Yeah,
period of time. So that's great
correct.
to know. So, coming back, obviously you spoke about your experience, your debut for Ranji Trophy. You spoke about your debut in first class for Chilaw as well, taking the wicket of Upul Thuranga. Then, of course, many other memorable memories. So I have a question over there. So two questions again. One is, what is your most memorable career um, in terms of your own performance? So, what is your most memorable performance in your own career? Which
Mhm.
one stands out across above the rest? And secondly, growing up, which was your favorite memory of a match you've seen, or an innings, or bowling performance?
Well, so there's a little bit of story to it. My Ranji Trophy debut, it was against Bihar, and it was in December first week. I still remember we were playing in Patna. And Bihar is a well-established team, and they've been playing Ranji Trophy over the years, and they've got a cricket culture. And we've heard a lot about Bihar, and there were talks about in the team saying that it's the first game of the season and was my Ranji Trophy debut. So we've got to try and be at your best, and we don't have to try, honestly. We've got to be your best. We've been practicing so hard with the red ball for it. We had a camp for 2 weeks of time, and we trained hard. So, honestly speaking, I had too much of anxiety just one day before the game. And our team's fielding coach and one of my really close friend, I would say, Mr. Dishant Yagnik, he supported me throughout. Means throughout the season, he's been there whenever I need him, or maybe sometimes. So this is very interesting, I would say. And in Patna, we had a game starting the next, for example, the game was starting the next day. So in the evening, I just went to his room and had a chat with him, saying that I'm really nervous and I don't know what to do. So he's like, "What means? Why have you been just nervous? It's just normal game. You've just got to go there and do your basic sides. And you are one of the best bowlers, one of the best left-arm spinners. Just have the belief in you." All right. So he told me suddenly out of the blue, he tells me, "Do you fancy watching a movie?" I was like, "Okay, sounds interesting. Then let's go for a movie." So we went for a movie, came back, had a early dinner as usual, and went back to bed. Next day, I had what do you say, too much of anxiety in me. Next day, wake up, normal schedule, go to the ground, and was really really cold in Patna at that moment, and in that kind of conditions, sometimes your finger needs to be stiff, and fingers can be stiff. And being a spinner, gripping the ball, and maybe because of the dew, and it could be difficult. So those kinds of questions were already running in the back of my mind. But honestly speaking, I didn't show it to my teammates, stating that I have got that anxiety and I'm a little bit nervous about it. So- And I think we won the toss and we elected to field. So we had a game plan stating that we'll field first and we've got to try and restrict them as much as to a low score as possible. So then I think the fast bowlers gave us a decent start. There was no wickets or something. They were, I think, about 10 or 15 runs for no loss, and handed over the ball a little earlier than normally a spinner is. And the first over I bowled and was a maiden over, being what do you say, a Ranjhi Trophy debut, and bowling the first over was a maiden over. That was really good, and that gave me extra bit of confidence. And eventually, by the end of the innings, I picked up 6 wickets in that particular game. And that was a game which I would say I will never forget, because the taking 6 wickets on debut is, what do you say, rememberable for me. And the second, I would say, second best for me was last game of the season. We were playing against Nagaland, and then on on day one, I think it was in the last session, we bowled them out, and we were we were chasing about, in the first innings we were chasing about 250 odd runs. I don't remember the exact total, and there was about an hour and a half's play. I think it was just the last session we had to bat through. And after, as usual, I had bowled about 20, 25 overs in that inning. So we were just sitting all together, and the bowlers get a break and get ready for the second innings. And suddenly, out of nowhere, my team's captain comes to me, Mr. Rohit Damodar, and he says, "Do you fancy going in as a night watchman?" I was like, "No, I don't, I hope you're not joking." He's like, "No, I'm serious. You need to pad up. I think when there is about 20 minutes left, you've got to go in as a night watchman." I was like, I just reconfirmed it to him, saying that, "Are you sure you're going to send me? Because normally I bat about low order, maybe 9, 10, 11, 9, 10 jack, or it all depends on what our team combination is." He's like, "No, no, I'm serious." And I was like, "Okay." So there was about 45 minutes left. Then also, I just straight away went inside the changing room, wore my whites, and wanted to get into the frame of mind that I might get batting today. And then I padded up when there was half an hour left. I padded up, and then I got to bat. I was say that was the first time I batted a number three in a first class game. So that was too much of responsibility, and I didn't want to at that moment get my team down, saying that okay, they've given me some responsibility. I wouldn't like to say what do you say, put my captain down. So I went into bat, and there were likes of bowling of Stuart Binney was bowling, and Shrikant Munde was bowling from Nagaland. But eventually, I was 20 not out that particular day by end of day's play, and it's been, honestly, it's some responsibility which was given to me, and I just what do you say, kept up to their expectations. The next day, I scored about, in that particular inning, I scored 79 runs, and that's it. So that's the second rememberable game for me.
Amazing. So, I know we're running out of time, but just one more quick question I want to fit in. So you've spoken about your own sort of performances which you remember, but obviously
Correct.
growing up, in India, we all have our favorite player, favorite performance, innings that we find memorable. So for me, for example, I'll always Rahul Dravid was my favorite player by far, and
Correct.
I always remember in Australia where he hit that 233. So what was your favorite memory or innings or performance that you saw growing up?
Well, there are quite a few performances to be particular and say I cannot just narrow down to one. But honestly speaking, my particular moment was I would say I got really lucky that I got to see the World Cup 2011 when India won the World Cup. That I would say I was really lucky. And the second is when Sachin Tendulkar last came, and I was really fortunate to be at the Wankhede Stadium and see him getting retired. And the stadium, everyone was on their feet, and I think most of them had tears in the eyes. And that particular game, I remember the last game, which Sachin scored about 80 odd runs, and when he walked in and the walk back, I still remember that's the thing I would just remember and cherish my entire life.
Great. Thank you so much, Sagar. Honestly, really appreciate you speaking so candidly. It's been a great session. We still have a lot of comments coming
Pleasure.
in. Sagar Trivedi saying he's a big fan. Ashok saying top left arm
They
spinner in
all
Mumbai cricket.
They all my Sagar Trivedi is a teammate, and
Yeah,
he's my roomie, and he's been my roomie since the last season.
nice.
So
Always great to see them support you. And honestly, thank you so much for doing this. Lots of exciting
thank you.
stories, lot of great
My pleasure.
memories. For everyone who didn't get a chance to watch the whole session, I'll be saving this on the Dr. Vaidya's IGTV. So definitely check it out. It was a great session, a lot of information, a lot of learnings, and a lot of great memories as well. So do check it out on the Dr. Vaidya's IGTV. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Hi guys, my name is Arjun Vaidya and I'm the CEO of Dr. Vaidya's. I hope you like what you heard. If you want more content on health and Ayurveda in the 21st century, please click the subscribe icon. We've got a lot more coming for you.